Hey guys, here is the new Realme P3 Ultra. It is a slim and lightweight phone packed with a big battery and a new and powerful chip. These specs make it one of the most powerful phones in its price range. So in this video, we'll test its performance with some demanding games. Now without any further ado, let's get started. Starting with the benchmarks, this is what this chip scores in terms of CPU. This looks pretty decent, but once you compare it with the other powerful chips in its price range, this one comes in the last place. However, in the GPU department, it does quite well and is more or less on par with the competition. Same goes with ray tracing. Even here, it scores close to the competition. Surprisingly, even though this has UFS 3.1 type storage, its total score is very close to that of UFS 4.0. And in terms of overall Antutu score, it impresses again. This score of nearly 1.5 million is amazing. However, the most impressive score is that of its sustained performance. 90% plus CPU stability and 99% GPU stability is just too good. Now let's start gaming. First is BGMI. We get to play at 90 FPS with smooth graphics and 4x anti-aliasing. First, we are playing Erangel. Here the frame rate is extremely stable and we get almost 90 FPS as the average frame rate. Now switching to more intense TDM, even here the frame rate is pretty good. The frame rate occasionally dips to about 80 to 85 FPS but remains close to 90 FPS most of the time. This phone may get 120 FPS support in the future, but as far as the 90 FPS mode is concerned, I am happy with this level of performance. Next is Call of Duty. Here we are getting the 120 FPS option with medium graphics. And the gameplay is buttery smooth. This is undoubtedly a very good experience. You can see that the average frame rate is excellent and even the minimum frame rate is super impressive. So I have nothing to complain about. Next, we have a racing game, Asphalt Legends Unite. Here we have maxed out the graphics and the frame rate is 60 FPS. With these settings, the game looks amazing and also feels very smooth. Let's see if it is able to maintain this frame rate after multiple races. Okay, even now, the performance is very good. As you can see, the average frame rate is near 60 FPS and the frame drops are only during loading screens between each races. So I'm totally satisfied with the performance in this game. Next is CarX Street. This is one of the most demanding games on Android. We have set all the graphics to max. With these settings, even the most powerful chips like Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and 8 Elite have a hard time maintaining 60 FPS. Here we can see some frame drops, but for the most part, the frame rate is close to 60 FPS. Fast forwarding a few minutes. Even now, the frame rate is above 50 FPS and the phone is just a little warm. The average frame rate is also very good. This is quite surprising as I was expecting this phone to only have about 45 to 50 FPS with this game. So 56 FPS average is extremely impressive. Now we'll play Genshin Impact. We have maxed out the graphics and as you can see, the frame rate is very close to 60 FPS even with all the action going on. Fast forwarding a few minutes. Okay, so the game maintains its high frame rate almost all the time. The average frame rate is nearly 59 FPS, so the performance is quite good. Last but not the least, we have Wuthering Waves. This one is similar to Genshin Impact, but even more demanding. Again, we have maxed out all the graphics. Here the frame rate seems to be pretty good, but I have noticed a few occasional jitters. After playing it for a few minutes, I feel that it's not as smooth as Genshin Impact. It is still very playable, but you will encounter a few jitters and frame drops from time to time. Still, the average frame rate is over 50 FPS, so it's good enough. So overall, in the 6 games we tested, we got very good scores in all of them. And if you look at the max temperatures of all these games, it never crossed 40 degrees Celsius. These temperatures will obviously be different in different environments, but for consistency, I do all my testing in a room with a temperature of 24 degrees Celsius. This level of performance from a phone costing less than 30,000 rupees and having a big 6000 mAh battery while being only 7.4mm thick is extremely impressive. Also, with gaming specific features like bypass charging and an FPS monitor, this is one of the best options to consider for gaming. Alright, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel down below. Thanks for watching.